All right, I'll go ahead and get started. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. My name is Neeraj Kumar, and I am a lead Azure architect. I'm also a Microsoft certified trainer. I've been conducting Azure Talk, an online session, for quite a while now, and I've conducted more than 16 sessions on different topics on Azure. And a couple of months back, we decided that it would be a good idea to have Ask Me Any Question session at the end of every month. So, we cover different topics and we take any questions at the end of the month session. So, since we are at the end of September month, so this is where we have this session. Ask Me Any Questions. So, how it is going to be structured? We have Lalit and Rohit and Shakti who are going to be part of our discussion panel, and we will take your question one by one on the topic that we have covered in this month. So if you're not speaking, can you put yourself on mute? I'm getting an echo, please. Thank you. So as a part of this session, what are we going to cover in terms of the questions and answers? We will have Ask Me Any Question session, and then we'll also talk about we'll talk about Azure subscriptions. So we have covered Azure subscription. Lalit has covered Azure subscription 2 weeks back. So we will take questions on that, and then we will also take questions on Azure Container Services. So before I open the floor, so this is the portal that we have launched, right? So cloudeasy.com, and I need to say special thanks to Shakti, who has done a tremendous job in setting up this portal. So this is a new and revamped portal. Anybody who has never been to this website, you can visit cloudeasy.com, and we are putting all our resources at one central repository. And the way it is organized, we have different links. So if you want to register for our Azure Talk session, you can register, and then you will start receiving the meeting invites in your Outlook calendar or any email ID that you have. So please take a time to register yourself so that we have your information and we can send you any update through email. So that's one thing. The second thing is we also have Azure Talk group, which runs over Telegram. So in case you want to register or you want to share this with your people, with your friends, with your colleague, you can head over to cloudeasy.com and come to Azure Talk group, and once you click on this, it will tell you what are the steps that is needed to join the Azure Talk group. So you need to install Telegram app, and then it also has a link to our Telegram group. So that's an easy way to share this information. So we have put all this together for you guys, and also I have put in all our Azure Talk YouTube channel, so the channel where we publish all the videos. Plus, in case you're looking for my blogs, because YouTube only has a video, whereas in the blog that I publish, I also publish along with the video. Along with that, I publish other details like slides and PowerPoint and scripts and other stuff. So you can come into the published Azure Talk, and it keeps it's up to date. So you can see that all my Azure Talk are over here, and you can jump to any of past Azure Talk if you really want to. So it's a good way. It's a central repository where we can put all the we have put in all this stuff, and it's easy for you to consume. And this was the objective of this portal. Finally, we have also posted something in order to recognize our heroes. So we have people who are very active and actively contributing into our forum, and they are the forum is because of them. When I started this forum, I was alone, but then along the way, these heroes come forward to help all of us. So this is a page dedicated to all our friends and colleague who are taking their personal time and dedicating that to answer all of your questions. So this is just a small gesture on my side, on our side, to recognize them. And this list is going to grow as and when we spot those heroes. So it's not like a static list. The list, you can also become part of this list, and you will have your own space onto our portal, which is cloudeasy.com. And we will keep an eye, as a moderator, group moderator, I'll keep an eye on all active users and make sure that I recognize them in terms of, well, they will feature into our community hero page, and then we dedicate one page for everybody. So for example, like you will have your own dedicated page, and we just put in all your information so that you are recognized, your work is recognized, and there is something to, it's a small token of appreciation from us, to recognize everybody who has done wonderful job and who are doing wonderful job, and they continue to do wonderful job. So it's just a small effort from our side, to recognize all these heroes. So this is a one-stop shop for you. You can head over to cloudeasy.com, and from there you can branch off to different location. It's a portal work in progress. It's we are working, and it's continuing to update. So over a period of time you will see a lot of changes, and all this has been possible because of our Azure Talk core team, and the team that is working in the background, and especially the community heroes. These are the people because of whom it is really possible. So once again, I want to say thank you to all my community heroes who make this Azure Talk forum possible, and I request all of you to share this link cloudeasy.com to everybody, so that more and more people can come on board and join our Azure Talk forum, and they get benefited out of it. So this is what I wanted to say. I will now switch back to our general ask me any question. Before that, anybody has any questions in general about the portal?
Yeah, hi, this is Yuvraj. Can you able to hear me, Phil?
Yeah, Yuvraj, I can hear you.
Yeah, hi. I don't have any question, just want to comment. I recently joined and would like to say thank you to every one of you to setting this up and sharing the knowledge and wealth within the community. It's very, very helpful. Honestly, I was struggling to find information, the proper relevant information on internet. But once I joined this group, it really helped me to clear my doubts and the clarifications I would have. So thank you all. Thank you so much. And one quick thing I want to ask you, which you mentioned is in your earlier sessions, you mentioned about Azure subscription, or someone gave presentation on Azure subscription. May I know which video it is so I can go back and look?
Yeah, so that's like, unfortunately, Yuvraj, we couldn't record this session, and that session was done by Lalit. But what are we going to do is we will redo that session, and we have fixed a date that is 14th of October, if I'm not mistaken. So we will, do that. So in case there is any, we will circulate that. So meanwhile, probably you can wait for that session, which is on the 14th of October.
Okay,
we'll
thank
have
you.
it. We couldn't record those sessions, so I'm really sorry.
No problem. Thank you.
All right. Okay, so let's go ahead, get into this session. So we'll open the floor for questions, and especially around Azure subscription and Azure Container Services, which you have attended in past. And Yuvraj, thank you for sharing your candid and honest feedback. These kind of feedback are really important for us, so I really appreciate that. And please do share your feedback, comments on the way you think that we should make these things possible, or we can improve this. So please do share those feedback. All right, so let's see. Anybody has any question? You can just unmute yourself and ask your question.
Hello, Lalit. Hello, Neeraj. Rahul this side.
Hey, Rahul.
Yes, my question is not exactly related to the previous sessions, but yeah, it's on Azure only. So My question is like, what is the remote desktop gateway? What is this benefit and how to set up the uh, yeah.
So probably, we wanted to take the question for Azure subscription and Azure Container Services. So I will take those questions first. If, people don't have question, maybe we'll try to answer your question. Is that fine?
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, Neeraj, this is Hemant. I have a query regarding the Azure container thing. So, in the new service fabric cluster, I've created a service fabric cluster with a container object.
Yeah.
Okay, but when I'm trying to add a container registry on that, so it's not working. I'm not getting the proper options in the service fabric to add the container.
So when you say you're not getting an option, so see, Azure Service Fabric and container, can be interlinked. And how it is interlinked is when you deploy your Azure Service Fabric, you can deploy your code or your microservices as a process or as a container, right? So when you deploy as a process, that runs its own isolated user mode and user space. However, if you opt for container, in that case, that particular microservice will not be deployed as a process, or rather that process itself or that particular microservice will be deployed inside a container. Okay, so
Okay.
I'm not sure what kind of option you are looking for. So when you create a service fabric, it at the beginning it will ask you whether you want to have the container inbuilt. So basically what it will do, see, you will deploy as your application as a container, but in order to do that, you need to have your platform running container engine, which is Docker engine,
Correct.
right?
Yeah.
So when you
Yeah.
deploy Azure Service Fabric, it will give you that option where it will say that only Windows or Windows with container. So
Yes.
if you decide to use container, for your application deployment, in that case you will select a Windows Server or for Service Fabric scale set. Basically, this creates scale set along with the container. So basically, it's Windows 2016 machine, and then on top of that, Docker engine gets installed, which Docker has worked with Microsoft. So is that the option you were looking for, or you're looking?
Yeah, so the thing is, yeah, I've made the service fabric with the container option. Okay, then I was looking off the option that you shown in the previous session of creating the container object using the container services, creating the registry, container object, and all the stuffs. So I was trying to push that things and to make it happen. So I thought that we need to add the container object manually, whichever Docker container we want to use it. So
Okay, so yeah, probably that's slightly different when you work with the Azure Service Fabric. When you're publishing through, and that will go through your Visual Studio microservice oriented application, the code that you deploy. So basically, your code is going to go, and instead of getting as a process, you will deploy it as a code, and they have different template. That's what I can, and maybe Ruxar, who is like our Azure Service Fabric expert, probably he can come in and he can also share his views. But in terms of deploying your code, you have to select. So there are three ways that you can deploy your code in Azure Service Fabric. One, as a self-contained unit, as an exe, as a guest executable, and then one is a process. So depending on what template you have chosen in your Visual Studio when you're creating that code for that application, you should be able to deploy it as a if it's chosen container, you should be able to deploy into the Service Fabric, and Service Fabric will deploy it as one container if you have chosen Service Fabric along with a container on top of it.
okay, so sure. So yeah, thanks for that input. I will try from my side, and I will try to connect in the community with Rukshar to help me out on that.
All right. Thank you, Hemant, for your question. It was really very insightful.
Pardon?
I said thank you for your question, and it was really interesting question. So keep your questions coming. So thank you.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, thanks for the time.
Hey Neeraj, this is Vijay.
Hey Vijay.
And Yeah, I had a question for subscription. So suppose a company want to buy a subscription from Microsoft. Is that mandatory to have any Microsoft account like Live, Outlook, and Hotmail account to buy, or I can buy
Sorry.
that subscription using my own domain like vijanakpal@abc.com for my company account?
So, Lalit, if you want to take that question, you please feel free to jump in. So when you sign up for your account, so there are different layer that you start with. So I'll talk from enterprise perspective. So you first go with an enrollment account or enterprise account. So when you sign up with enterprise account, the first account that you will set up, that for that you will require you know your live ID. So your enterprise enrollment account that we create at the top level. So that will be associated to one company enterprise enrollment account. So just for signing up that, since your organization doesn't have any association with your I mean any your company ID, so you will require live ID when you're signing up. Once your enterprise enrollment account is set up, now that enterprise enrollment account can create multiple accounts, department accounts. So those department accounts, and then you have one account, two. Those can have your office email address. That's doable. And then within this department account, you have different subscriptions. So you have subscription 1, subscription 2. So this level, up to this level, you can use your company ID. Okay. And for this, the top level, which is the enterprise enrollment, you will have to use the live ID. So
Okay.
did I answer your question?
Yes. So that live ID will be, I mean, that will be unique ID, or either one user
You
will
will
have
use,
access
for
to that.
example, like if your company, like let's say your company ABC, so company ABC at the rate hotmail.com, if you have created a hotmail, or live.com, or at the rate outlook.com, any of that format. So the first account, when you sign up, so let's say I'm a customer with Microsoft. I'm an enterprise customer, but we have not signed up for Azure. So we will go and get into an agreement with Microsoft, and we'll sign up with the enterprise enrollment account. And that's when Microsoft will say, okay, give me a live ID, and you will provide any of the live ID, Hotmail, or Hotmail, or Outlook, or live.com, any ID, and then you can sign up. So you can decide to create either one for your company, or you can use your personal, depending. And it's always good to create one for your company account and then start from there. So that's the
So
only
I
place
have
that
my,
you will use live ID.
okay, I have my free trial, which I got it with my Hotmail ID. Can I integrate my official ID with that live ID in free trial?
So
Uh,
yeah, go ahead.
yes, you
Sorry.
can. Yes, you can do that also. So
Hey,
basically, once you add your organization ID to Azure AD subscription, it will just send out an invite. Okay, and you can do that also. And even though if you wanted to, integrate your organization as a primary ID, you have to sign up with your organization ID to the Microsoft account. So it will just create an on Microsoft.com ID in the backend, and then you will be able to sign up to the Azure subscription. That can be possible in both the ways. So that's not a problem. Either you can go with the live ID, which is the Microsoft one, or your organization ID. So the best would be like if you just going in and getting the subscription with few of the CSP, or some other cloud service provider. So what will be happen, like your organization ID, they'll just create the tenant or the subscription with your organization ID. So it'll just make your, like, you just have to put some less effort to just go and sign up with your organization ID to the Microsoft, and then go ahead and create the subscription.
So Lalit, if I hear you correctly, you said the enterprise enrollment that we are signing up, which is which is listed here. We can also use in addition to live ID, we can also use organizational, like at the rate mycompany.com email address also. Is that correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay. Sorry, so Vijay, I have to correct myself. I didn't know that. So I thought probably you can only use live ID. Okay.
Okay, that's fine. So when we talk about the cloud service provider, is that the kind of mediator between the company and the Microsoft?
Which I think somebody had to say something. So
Yes. Basically, it's a mediator between Microsoft and the customer, the client. So basically, when you just go and sign up with those cloud solution provider, these are
wait for operator's assistance.
so basically these are the things like you'll get a better offer. Like as I'm working with the CSP and all. Could you just go on mute the Mindtree guys?
Hello.
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 It looks like somebody joined from the phone.
Yes. Okay. So basically, you can just if you're just going and then sign up your subscription with the CSP customer, like the cloud solution provider, which has gold, platinum, and the silver part. So basically, you'll get lots of benefit and the offer. Let's give me an example for like the same email license for the Office 365. If you're buying directly from the Microsoft, if it is cost is $9. And then if you're going with the CSP, it will cost you $6 or probably less. So this
By
is
the way, yeah,
yes,
CSP is cloud service provider, just for
yes, cloud service provider. So basically, this is the difference. And even though apart from that, it depends on their agreement with the Microsoft, you'll get other lot more benefited with the services and the licensing part or the subscription part. How they are going to benefit it and depends on the gold and silver or the other partners. So basically, if you just go with the platinum and all, they will be for the enterprise customer, and your request directly going with the Microsoft, and then Microsoft is forwarding your request to their cloud solution provider, and then there onwards they will be reaching you, and then based on your requirement, you have to choose one, and then I'll get all the benefit which Microsoft is giving to them, and they will give it to you.
So yes, essentially, there are two models, right? You can sign up for your subscription. One is through CSP, a cloud service provider, which Laura is talking about, and another one is you can directly sign up with Microsoft. If you're a large organization and you already have an enterprise account with Microsoft, you can sign up directly with Microsoft. But if you're a small organization and trying to play around with Azure, you can go through the CSP and sign up for Azure. So these are the two models that you have for signing up for Azure.
Okay. So Neeraj, this is Naveen.
Yeah, Naveen, go ahead.
Okay. So Lalit, I have one question for you. When you sign up for enterprise enrollment, can you use organization account also? The last time I enabled an enterprise agreement based Azure subscriptions, they were only allowing Outlook IDs, the live IDs.
Yeah, earlier it was the Outlook IDs, and then they changed to create your own organization ID. So there will be a few steps which you need to associate your organization ID with the Microsoft tenant. So Microsoft will recognize, okay, you're from this organization, and then only they will allow you to just sign up with your organization ID to the tenant. So normally if you just go and sign up, Microsoft domain will not allow because it's not recognized. So how you're going and sign up a normal account, right? Creating .outlook.com or .hotmail.com. The similar way you need to sign up for your organization ID.
So is this a recent change? Because I remember, for my enterprise enrollment, it won't take my organizational ID.
Yeah, yeah.
And plus, earlier I could create my organizational ID account in Microsoft directory. That's what you're referring to. But now no more. They're not accepting. They're not allowing me to create like my company ID in their Microsoft directory, which is a live directory basically, where they create the users.
Hey
Yeah.
Neeraj, this is Suresh here, Suresh Malala.
Hey,
Yeah,
Suresh.
Microsoft stopped creating a personal account, I mean live ID account with your company
Correct.
domain name.
Right.
So recently that has happened. So now what is I mean if your directory is already on Microsoft.com, so probably you should be able to log in with your company email ID. Are you getting what I'm saying? So if your directory already created on Microsoft on the form of Office 365 or something,
Yeah.
so you should be able to log in with your company email ID to log into the Azure portal. If not, then you need to create your own directory on Azure. Then you need to create a user IDs, and then you should be able to log into the portal.azure.com.
No, the question is,
So the question was,
Yeah.
for enterprise enrollment account. So
yeah,
when we sign up enterprise, can we use company ID? And that's what the debate was. I knew that you can only use live ID, but there was a way in past to use company ID because Microsoft was allowing you to create an account in their live directory or Microsoft directory. We also call it Microsoft directory using your company, username. But they have stopped it. Since they have stopped it technically, even for in those cases also, which it was a live ID. So basically you create another replica of your on-prem account into your Microsoft live ID. But now they have stopped it. You cannot create, that's what I knew, you cannot create your company ID in Microsoft directory when you're signing
Yeah,
Yeah.
up.
so now
that is
the
correct.
only way is to go with the cloud service provider, which they can create a tenant and then they can integrate my own enterprise ID with that.
Yeah. So Vijay, that is the what Neeraj explained is the process for enterprise enrollment. Let's say you are buying something about 25,000 USD. That's when they will sell you the enterprise agreement for consumption, as your consumption. Now, if you are a small business or a medium enterprise and you want to pay as you go and you want to create an Azure subscription for your company, you need to start with creating either a Microsoft account. So it could be Vijay at Outlook.com or Vijay at Live.com. And then you need to you need to create an Azure account using that live account. Or a second option is I just shared a link in the Skype for Business chat. You can directly go to that link and create an organizational account for yourself, uh, and then sign up for Azure services. This way, there will be more control since you cannot control live IDs or Outlook IDs.
Suppose my ID having already a live ID around
Mhm.
6 months back or 7 months back. I already created my live ID, and
Right.
now I want to use that organization ID and create uh, going for the EA enrollment. In that case, I need to create the Microsoft, or it will recognize, okay, you have created your account around some times back and your ID is already there, so you cannot need to follow this step.
So when you buy an enterprise agreement, Microsoft will ask you for for your live account.
Okay, suppose
And
So,
that
so,
that
so
account is
Yeah, so maybe I can rephrase. So what Vivek is
yeah,
trying to say is, let's say Microsoft has stopped us from now, maybe recently to create our account in live directory using our company,
email
username,
address
right? But let's
using
say
your company. Yeah.
let's say
Mhm.
Vivek, Vivek, in Vivek's case, he has created that account 6 months back when Microsoft is allowing it, and he has created. Can he use that ID to sign up?
Yes,
That
yes,
was your
yes.
question, Vivek, right?
yeah, right.
If you already have an ID, you can do it. But if you are trying to create a new one, they're not allowing it.
Okay,
Okay,
that's good then. Okay, all right.
okay.
Naveen, the link which you have shared, I tried to create an account with that link. It's giving the by default domain name is .on.microsoft.com.
Exactly. That's an organizational account. So, Vijay, does your company have an Office 365 subscription, or is it the first
No,
time you're using?
no, this is the first time, and they want to go for the POC on the Azure.
Right. So if you're going for the first time, it's a good idea to go to this link and then create. So when so let's say your company name is some private limited, some XX private limited. So you can just give that xx.onmicrosoft.com. That would be your Azure Active Directory to start with for you to get started on Azure. And then you can expand. Later on, you can also sign up Office 365 services using the same account, because your directory is already established. You can utilize that directory.
So Naveen, the link that you shared, I just brought it up on the screen. So if I sign up here, basically what it is doing is it is just creating because Azure AD is a free offering from Microsoft, right? So they don't
Right.
So basically this is the portal from where I create my Azure AD instance, right? Once I've created Azure AD instance, I can use this instance to sign up for subscription. That's what you're saying?
Yeah.
So my enterprise enrollment account can be from this directory?
That is something, that's the question I asked Lalit, because
yes, you can do that. So that is the things I'm talking about. So basically it was when Microsoft has stopped direct access to the organization account, and they introduce like you need to sign up your organization with the Microsoft directory first, and then only it will allow you to log in with your organization ID. So whenever anyone will sign up any ID like live ID or the organization ID, it will be like can you just click on the dashboard here?
Which dashboard?
Your Azure Microsoft
Microsoft
portal.
dashboard? Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, sure. And you can just go to the AD.
Okay, I'm here.
Sure.
You want to drive? I can, share. I can give you control.
Sure. I'll just request you control.
Great. So you're trying to see the domain name that you want, or you want?
With one ID, can I have multiple EA? Sorry.
Yes, you will have. So basically, when you just sign up, it will be sign up like this, okay? And if you just see the domain here in the backend, and the domain would be his ID will be added automatically to .on Microsoft.com, like similarly like this cloudez Microsoft.com would be like this. So it will be sign up would be always any ID, either if you have the Outlook ID or the Hotmail ID or your organization ID, that will be automatically added to on Microsoft.com, which is called as a Microsoft tenant ID, which is taking care and verifying your IDs to the Microsoft domain, which is going and giving you the unique ID access. So it will recognize who are the first user or the admin of this subscription, or the owner of the subscription, or the global admin of the subscription.
So Lalit, maybe I can just one quick clarification. These IDs that I'm getting an echo. Okay, so this ID that you said cloudez.onmicrosoft.com. So this is for subscriptions, right? So as a user, so I talked about, right? You have enterprise enrollment account, and then under enterprise enrollment account you create multiple multiple accounts, department accounts, and then each department account will have service admin, and that will create subscription. Now, when this is subscription part, yes, I understand. In order to access the subscription portal.azure.com, I can use this on Microsoft Microsoft.com, which is the directory, and my user ID will get created. And in fact, my Outlook is also added here. If you go in users and group, my Outlook one is added as an external user. So, and that's how I'm able to log on and trying access it. So if you look at this nihkum@outlook.com, right? So this is an external from Microsoft Live directory. Okay. So the point was, if we create an enterprise enrollment, what Microsoft wanted you to use is any account which is in their Microsoft Live directory. Now earlier, this is also a Microsoft Live directory. Earlier, they were allowing you to use your company ID and have an identical, email address or identical user ID, not even email address, identical user ID in their Microsoft Live ID. And you remember, when earlier I remember maybe 4 months back when I would sign in, I had two ID, one in Microsoft Live ID, one in my Office ID. So it will say, are you using Office or work, or you are using personal one? So if I select Office and work, in that case, it will redirect me to my regular authentication using, for example, whatever abc.com federation endpoint. But if I select no, it is personal, it will take me to, Microsoft Live ID directory where that account was created. Now, after 3 months back, I stopped seeing that option because, Microsoft stopped, or, my organization probably would have deleted that account. That's a different story, but they don't allow that anymore. So what I understand, and from the discussion so far, and Naveen also pitched in to with his input, is for enrollment, enterprise enrollment that I'm talking about, the top level, right? You need Live ID anyhow. Earlier, Microsoft was allowing you to create an account in their Live directory or Microsoft directory, I would say Microsoft directory, using your company format. But now they are not doing anymore. Even when they were allowing it, still that account belonged to Microsoft directory or Microsoft Live directory.
Yes. So basically, whatever the first account you are going to sign up, that will always belongs to the Microsoft Live directory. And later on, you can add your organization ID or your Outlook ID to the same tenant. So either you use the live account or your organization account, that will be default on Microsoft.com domain would be the domain would be added automatically. As far I have gone for more and more customer, I have seen the same features. And once you add anybody's ID or the organization ID to that, it will just give you an access. Basically, your ID is going to add it to the Azure ID.
Yeah.
Similarly, you have give me access, right? You create my ID, or if you just go ahead and add my Outlook account, it will just send out me a link to my Outlook email address, and then it will ask just you have to sign up. When I just sign up, it will in the backend it will just go and give me the access to your subscription and add my ID to your Active Directory to give the proper subscription and identify, okay, he is the Lalit Rawat.
So Lalit, this is for subscription level access you are talking about, right?
Correct.
You can add our organization ID. But the question here is, can we add our organization ID on the EA level?
No, that's what my answer is very clear.
Yeah.
It's
As per my understanding also, till now what I have seen that it is mandatory to have, live account only.
Yep. All right.
So guys, I have quick question on this. If that's the case, if one has to create his own Live ID, this is Yuvraj, by the way.
Yeah, right.
So is there a dependency on that? If that person, suppose I start my subscription for my company, use my account as Live ID, I leave tomorrow. So is there a dependency for that account?
So, Yuvraj, usually the best practice is you will not use a personal account. Rather than you will create an account with the company name, and that account will be with your CIO, CTO, or CEO. Okay, rather than you will not use a personal ID, that Live ID.
Okay,
that's a practice people use. And that gets passed on. If your CIO leaves, the next CIO will have access to that account.
Yeah. Moreover, Yuvraj, so if you talk about the EA, right? EA is not in just few things. Just you'll just go and sign up with your own. There will be a lot of documentation and the contract. The sign up would be involved, and then Microsoft will be asking which ID you have to sign up, and probably you might need to take in help with the CSP or some other cloud solution provider which they routed, or directly from the Microsoft, because the lot of document would be involved, and you have to just sign up and tell to the Microsoft, okay, you're going to utilize this many number of amount of dollars per year or within 6 months, and the payment method would be the same. So basically, when you just go ahead and do that, automatically I just try and sign up with my live ID. I didn't see anything on that. So basically, when you just go and sign up, it will be always really helpful going through all those things and directly connecting. So once you give them all the IDs and the password, they're just going and creating in the backend and providing you the EA subscription, and then you'll go ahead and add the subscription and go forward from there. So basically, it's nothing. You cannot go directly and create the EA account, which I was work for almost 3 to 4 customers, which I just came across.
Sure. Thank you. But from the Azure console, can we see that EA account in case I'm a new administrator, I don't know which account I use?
Cannot. No.
Okay. All right.
No Azure subscription administrator or owner can view the EA unless you don't have the EA subscription access. Only the EA enterprise admin or co-administrator or the administrator who has access to the EA account, those guys only can see it, those subscription.
You won't even know if you are under an EA subscription unless someone tells you that you are using an EA subscription.
Yeah, maybe I can help you visualize what we are talking about, right? So you have, if you can see my screen, so basically this is how it's going to be, right? So you have your enterprise enrollment account that you see on the top. So anybody, you will use your and he will be enterprise administrator role. So this is where you will use your live ID, right? So, and this is the location we all are stuck right now. We were talking about. So this is where you will use live ID, and that could be a shared live ID from your company name @live.com or outlook.com. Then that enterprise administrator will create further accounts, or maybe you can call it tenant for each of departments. So you can have one account for finance department, one account for HR department, one account for your billing department, one account for assurance, and so on. So that enterprise administrator is the one who will be able to log into the enterprise enrollment portal, and he creates an account which and delegates the role of account admin. Now this account admin is a separate role than the enterprise admin. This person has the ability, enterprise admin has the ability to create accounts, but account admin cannot create an account. However, account admin has an ability to create subscriptions. So an account admin can log into the account portal, and from there he can create subscriptions. So you can have product subscription, dev subscription, testing subscription, and so on. Now when the subscription gets created, you have every subscription will have a service admin, SA, and then you will have co-admin that we call it. So by default, an account administrator who is creating that subscription will also be service admin, and you can add further co-admin. So now the account administrator, if you're not service admin, you will not be able to log into the subscription portal and access it. Only a service admin, co-admin. Similarly, an enterprise admin cannot log into the account admin portal and try to create accounts. Try to create subscription. They cannot do it. So everything is restricted. So every role is defined. Like enterprise admin can only create accounts. That's it. And he cannot log into the account admin portal also. Only the account admin can log into the account admin portal, and he can create subscription. That's it. He cannot manage the subscription unless he is also service admin. Similarly, once the subscription is created for co-admin, only co-admin can log in and create those resources inside the subscription. So every role is defined. This guy cannot log in here, no ways. This guy cannot log in here, no way. And similarly, this one, and this vice versa. So everybody has their portal defined, and you have to use your portal. Thank you so much.
And above account admin, we can have one more hierarchy, right? Like department admin. So we can manage different accounts admin under that department admin.
Yeah, I mean that you can do, that you can define as a service admin for your all your subscriptions.
And probably if we can log in with department admin, we can able to see at least enrollment number of that enterprise enrollment which you have done.
Yeah. So you have to understand the hierarchy, okay? You have enterprise admin who will only be able to log into enterprise enrollment account. Now I don't have access, I cannot show you. But I can show you Account Central, with my personal ID, because that's how I've signed it. So they have different URLs. So for subscription, you go to portal.azure.com. For account, it's account.windows.com or account.windowsazure.com. I need to really look
So
up.
it's account.azure.com.
Yeah, account.azure. Maybe I can just quickly show you what I mean. And this is the Account Central. Now there you will log in as an account admin. You will not, your enterprise admin will not be able to log in. In fact, I have a graphics which shows who can do what. Just hold on, I can show you that. Yeah, this is a good one. So if you look at it, I have account admin, I have service admin, I have co-admin. So enterprise admin is missing from here, but you know what is enterprise admin, right? So enterprise admin creates an account. Now after account is created, you have account admin, and you have service admin, and you have co-admin. So service admin is the owner of a subscription. Whenever a subscription gets created, you will have one service admin, only one, and that service admin, is by default whoever creates if you're logged in as an account admin and you create a subscription, so you will be by default service, and that can be changed. So you can change it. So you have account admin, you have service admin, and you have co-admin. So as an account admin, you cannot log into Azure Management Portal. You see there is a cross sign. That means account admin cannot log into portal.azure.com and manage resources. No way, you cannot do it. Either you have to be service admin, or you have to be a co-admin, or normal user who have been granted resource group permission, anything. Then only you can log into Azure Management Portal. So where this guy logs in, he logs it at account.azure.com, right? This is where he will log in, and he will create from there subscriptions for you. So that is account admin, and he cannot log in onto Azure portal. Similarly, as an enterprise admin cannot log into the account management portal. So you have account management portal, you have Azure management portal, and then you have your enterprise management portal. So there are three portals that we are referring to. So you have, let's see if I can type.
And if you are a small business or a medium enterprise who doesn't have an enterprise agreement, you will use only two portals, the Azure Management Portal and the Account Portal.
Right, so you have Enterprise Management Portal, then you have Account Management Portal, and then you have Azure Management Portal, which all of us know. Right? So the point that we're talking about is, for Enterprise Management Portal, only Enterprise admin can log in. For Account Management Portal, only Account admin can log in. And for Azure Management Portal, only service admin, co-admin, and a resource group admin that you have added. Service admin cannot log into Account Management Portal. Similarly, it cannot log into Enterprise Management Portal, and vice versa. So that's how it is. Now the question that Vijay has, to go back to original question, can we sign up as an enterprise? You will sign up with Enterprise Management Portal, Enterprise Enrollment Account, and you will get access to Enterprise Management Portal. That is the live ID that you will have to use, and subsequent to that, you can use your EY IDs. Sorry, I keep saying you. You can use your company's IDs for Account Management Portal and for Azure Management Portal. And guys, correct me if I'm wrong.
That's right, Neeraj. So Neeraj, when you created your, when you created cloudeasy.com, when you first sign up for, did you sign up for Office 365 first, and then did you sign up for Azure? Did you go that route?
Yes. So in my case, what has happened is I had multiple Azure AD instances, 3 to 4 instances, and earlier my subscription was associated with a separate Azure AD tenant, azform.onmicrosoft.com, that I have created. In fact, before that, there was a Neeraj Kumar at the rate Neeraj Kumar Outlook.onmicrosoft.com, but then created another Azure AD directory, which is azform.onmicrosoft.com, and attached multiple subscription to that. That was the the second directory that was associated. But then by that time, I signed up for my O365 account, which had its own Azure AD tenant, which it signed up. and I attached my cloudeasy.com to that Azure AD tenant, and then I switched the association. So if you look at it, there is also, maybe if I come down, so there is an association. So any subscription that you create has to be associated with one Azure AD, and that can be changed easily. You can change around, you can play around with that. So you can create multiple Azure AD and you can change the association. So in my case, Naveen, I changed the association. I have 5 directories and I changed my association 3 times of my subscription.
Okay.
In fact, I have 3 subscriptions. Each subscription had their own Azure AD. And then I had to bring all into one subscription because I was doing VNet peering across the subscription. So that's only possible when all subscription belong to single Azure AD. So I changed all my 3 subscription to be associated with Azure AD. And how you do it, I just quickly I can show you. I will have to go to old portal, which is manage.windows. And I don't know, in the new portal there is ability, but I have not really explored that. I'm comfortable with the old one, at least for changing the directory association. But in new portal also they should allow, but I have not tried that. So basically, you go to the log into the old portal, and when you let it populate, and if you come down into the settings, it will show you all your subscriptions. So like I have, okay, so I'm logged on as a, I'll have to log in as a service admin. So let me open an incognito window. It logged me with my cloud easy. I'm not service admin. So you need the service admin, or you need to be an account admin to basically change the association, or rather, you should be service admin. So my Outlook is my service admin. So let me log in with my Outlook ID. Just okay. So now if I mean, you must be logged in as service admin. That's a key. And it logged me in as a co-admin. I was co-admin. That Cloud Easy was a co-admin. So now once I'm logged in as a service admin, and if I come to settings, I can see all my 3 subscriptions here. And if I want to change, let's say this is my Cloud Easy, I want to change my directory, I can click here, come to settings, and then come to the subscription and click edit directory. And I can change the directory. Now, how would you able to? You will be able to see only those directory where you are a global admin. So I have these many directories. I initially created Cloud INC on Microsoft.com, then Easy Form. Later I created, and these are some of the directory which my friends have created, and they have assigned me global admin rights. So that's why I could see those. And plus, this was my default one, neeraj.outlook.onmicrosoft.com. So I switched from this to this, then this to this, and then finally. Right now I'm with the Cloud Easy one, which is there. It's there.
So, Neeraj, it means that the single subscription can point to a single directory at a time, right?
Correct. You can't have, but
Yeah.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
It's one-to-one mapping from subscription to Azure AD. But from Azure AD perspective, you can have multiple subscriptions. In my case, if you look at it, so these are account administrator, right? You can see. You can only change an account as being an account administrator. So all these are account administrator. Now, if I come here, all are pointing to the same directory. In my case, Cloud Easy, MCT, and this Nearest Personal, everything is pointing to the same directory. So one subscription, if you look at this, right? So it's one to many from Azure AD perspective. That is, one Azure AD can be associated with multiple subscription, but opposite is not true. So your one subscription cannot be associated with multiple Azure AD. It's only one. And the term that we use is association. So your subscription is associated with your Azure AD.
So I can create multiple subscription as per the department wise, and I can associate with the single Azure directory.
Correct. That's what a big organization does. That's what my organization is doing. So we have hundreds of subscription and all belong to single Azure AD tenant. And Azure AD, when you say Azure AD, it is also called Azure AD tenant. We also give it the name. The name itself is, like in my case, name is on Microsoft.com. So let's come to this portal. The name of your directory which you have. So this is where is my domain name? Yeah, the name which is at cloudeasy.onmicrosoft.com. This is also called tenant. We also call it as a tenant, Azure AD tenant. So you can have multiple Azure AD, and each could be. But usually the best practice for a big organization is you have one Azure AD and you have multiple subscription for different departments. And all your subscription get attached to or get associated to single Azure AD. That's how we do it.
Yes, that's true.
So Neeraj, if we have multiple resources, I would say virtual machines and different subscription, so by default, will they be able to connect each other, or?
Resources. Okay, so you have to understand there are two things we're talking about. One about administering the resources on Azure portal. So that is controlled by your Azure AD tenant, like who can do what, who can create VM, who can delete VM, who can create SQL, who can delete SQL. We are talking about the activities on Azure portal. So that is but what happens inside those resources is not controlled by this identity. It's controlled by, like, for example, VM, who can restart the VM, who can log into the VM, who can perform patching. That comes through a different identity, which is our on-prem Active Directory. So don't get confused. This identity, this Azure AD, with your on-prem Active Directory, like people who can log in and perform the task on those resources, as opposed to who can create resources. Okay, there are some overlaps where that Azure AD identity has crept into, or Microsoft is trying to bring it into, using those identity. You can also perform tasks on that resource itself, or you log into that resource and do it. Like a classic example is Azure SQL. So now with Azure SQL, you can use your Azure AD username, Azure AD identity to log in and perform certain tasks, administrative tasks. But technically, Azure AD identity is only for controlling what you can do on Azure portal in terms of creating resources, deleting resources, modifying properties. Whereas on-prem identity, which is Active Directory identity, is used to log onto the VM and perform tasks, administrative tasks, and all of those. So these two are separate.
Neeraj, in this, when you say on-prem AD, is that the domain which will have under the subscription inside the in that subscription, right?
Yeah, you can run your on-prem Active Directory inside the subscription itself. Yes, you can. So let's say you don't want to maintain anything on-prem. You run your VM, promote those one or two VM as a domain controller. Yes, you will have your Active Directory running inside the subscription as a part of VM.
Yes, right. But one exclusion is there. Please, Microsoft is not allowing the DHCP server to be put it's not supported at all. So don't try and just set up your DHCP server into the subscription at all. So DHCP server always would be on-prem.
Okay.
I did try for
so DHCP,
couple of months back.
Yeah, DHCP is not allowed. That's correct.
Yes.
I know there are many services which you cannot install. Sorry, go ahead, Benny.
Yeah, Microsoft provides DHCP services. That's why they won't allow us to create our own DHCP services in the cloud.
Yeah. So just to bring the focus back, the question was, let me rephrase the question. The question was, can I run my Active Directory inside the subscription? Yes, you can. And that will be in form of VM. And then on top of that, you install your Active Directory and that will work.
Right. Thanks for that. And I have one more question on this. Can I move the resources on different subscription which are under different Active Directory, under the directory? So I have two subscriptions. Uh, uh, and one is there in under different Active Directory, and the other one is there in different Active Directory. Basically, it's two different organizations. So that's not possible, right?
No, it's not possible. It should be on the same AD tenant, right? If your both subscription are in same Azure Active Directory tenant, then you can probably move your resources or anything across the subscription.
Yeah. So for
Because
example,
yeah,
go ahead.
currently I'm in that situation. I have a request to do that because my
So
the
basically,
client which I was supporting, they have they have taken back the work, and they are started building their environment. So
basically, what you're looking
yeah.
is you're looking for recreating. You'll have to recreate. So you create an infrastructure as a code or JSON template of your existing infrastructure, and then you deploy that in the
Uh-huh.
other. Or you can use
So it's
some.
yeah, it's like completely building new.
Correct. So for example, movement you're talking about, right? So any resource that you right now, if you log in, there is an option of change. You can see it says resource group change, right? You can see this is my one of the resource. Cloud Easy Blog is one resource, right? And if I click on change,
Right.
it will let me choose any resource group in any. So it's only within the same subscription.
Well,
Ram.
there is one option, Neeraj, move resource groups. There is one
There is
more
an
option.
option called move actually
Okay.
that will allow you to move between the subscription which is under the same Active Directory or same directory.
I don't
You
see
can
that.
Yes, that's true.
Oh, so
you
here it
can
is. Sorry. So here is a subscription name. So I can change this resource group subscription, right? From one to, yeah, that's right. So I can change it as long as those subscription belong to the same directory. Correct. So you see, I'm getting this option. So I'm now in resource group property, and if I click on subscription name and I can say change, I can change my subscription, but it has to be in the same Azure AD.
Right. Yeah, this was a confusion. Even I raised case to Microsoft. They have confirmed. So I was thinking.
No, I think if
Thank
you
you.
have two different directories, subscriptions associated with two different directories, and if you ask Microsoft, I think they will do it from their backend. In the past, when I was working with one organization,
Why don't you associate the new subscription to your existing Azure AD, or vice versa, and then you can move. Is that not a
Yeah, and even
possibility?
Because
yeah, and even,
it's both are different company itself, right? So
No, I understand that, but for ease of use, since it's only one subscription that you have all your resources, maybe you can attach that to.
and even the services will be up and running at that time. There is no impact on the services which is running under that subscription.
Yeah, it's only the
okay. Is there
identity.
any special permission required for that?
Yes, you should be. You should be. So, you should be, as I said, you should be account admin of your subscription. You should be logged in as an account admin, and then the person who is going to make that change should be global admin into the Azure AD of the target subscription. Then only you will be able to change the association. Right. So I showed you. So if you remember, if you come to the old, I'm showing you from the old portal. I think there should be a way to the new portal. But see, it's not giving me option because I'm logged in as cloudeasy.com and I'm not account admin. But when I logged in my incognito window, which was there, I logged in as an account admin. You can see that account admin I have. So I could change, my directories, because not account admin, I'm saying service admin. Yeah. So then I can change my directory. Yeah. And I can see all this directory because I'm global admin to all this directory. If you're not, then you will not see that option and you will not be able to change also. So you need to be service admin, and you need that account should also have global admin, right? Yeah, right. In the
Yes.
target.
Anish, could you just click on the subscription here in the top?
Yeah.
On the top, near to your email ID.
This one?
No, in the top. The credit status and then subscription.
No, on the top right.
Top right. Okay.
Here,
No.
the side, subscription.
Right side corner. Subscription is there, no? That one is.
On the right top corner.
Yeah,
Just do it.
like
This subscription.
different subscriptions. Yeah.
So these are the three
Yeah.
subscriptions
So
that I have.
basically, yeah, you can even filter that from here as well, either here or you can filter up from here. The similar way, I'll just show you in the portal as well, the new portal. So just you need to just drag and drop and select the subscription, which subscription you want it to work on. If you need in the particular subscription things.
Right.
Please could you just log into with the same ID with portal.azure.com.
Mm-hmm.
I'm logged in, so this is. Oh, you want me to log in? Okay.
With the global
Service
admin ID.
Okay. So long. Wait, hold on. See, I can show you account center. So this is what it is in account center. This is how account center looks like. So this is my subscription, and I'm account admin for only one subscription. I have three subscription. All three belong to three different account admins. But the one that I am, this is my MCT subscription that I'm using. My Neeraj Kumet Outlook is associated with. So this is your account center I was referring to, right? So let's refer back here. You have enterprise enrollment portal. Sorry, your enterprise management portal. Then you have account management portal. Then you have Azure management portal. So I cannot show you enterprise management portal because mine one is a personal subscription through MCT. So, but yes, I do have access to account management portal, and this is where is your account management portal, which is account.azure.com, and I can see all these details. Plus, from here I can change my service admin. So if I click on edit subscription details, I will be able to change my service admin. By default, what happens? An account admin so let's say Neeraj Kumar at outlook.com is an account admin. He created two subscription, one for department 1, one for department 2. By default, the same person will also be service admin, which you can change from here. But an account admin cannot log into Azure portal and do something. Only service admin and co-admins can do it. And there can only be one service admin.
Neeraj, if time allows, can you tell me the difference in co-admin and service admin?
Yeah, so service admin can add another co-admins, but the co-admins cannot add another another co-admins. So I mean, I have this written over here. If you can look at, so you have account admin, only one per Azure account. You have service admin, one per Azure subscription. Co-admin can be 200 per Azure subscription. Both the roles have the same access, service admin and account co-admin. The only difference is that the service admin can add multiple account admin, and plus also only service admin can change the association of subscription to Azure. Co-admin cannot. So that's why I was co-admin. I was the owner using my cloudeasy.com, but Neeraj.com at Outlook was a service admin, and that's why I have to log in with that to change my association of directory.
And even service admin reset the password of any co-administrator.
Correct.
Neeraj, this is Uday. So this co-admin will be, moved or removed from the new portal, right? I mean, it's not there in the new portal when we move to the new portal. This is still in the old portal, right? So
yeah, I think in the new portal we are calling it owners, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Uday, the same account would be there in the new portal as well. Okay, there's nothing changed. Only the directory things has been changed. So whatever it is there in the old portal, same thing has been replicated over here. Okay, so the first admin is going to be your service administrator, and that can be added to the co-administrator at all. So I think we'll just cover up in the 14th of. I think I have covered up.
So you can look at this, right? So I am my cloudeasy.com. So I am the owner. Though I'm a co-admin, but in the new portal showing me as the owner for these two
Yeah, that's true. That was the clarification just to make it clear.
Right,
So the
right. In classic,
co-admin.
it shows as co-admin, and new
Yeah.
portal it will be owner.
Correct.
And Neeraj, one more thing. Initially, we had someone question that can we use our domain ID for signing up the any subscription, Azure subscriptions?
So they're
So is
referring to
it
this,
yeah.
enterprise account. Yeah.
Yeah. So is it only that we can't use our domain account for signing up the EA, or we referring to pay as you go or the free trial as well? How is
I
that?
So I was, strictly focusing on the, subscription part. I didn't think about the pay as you go. So even for pay as you go, right? So I signed up. I had to use my, Hotmail ID or my Outlook ID.
Yeah, that's just to in an initial discussion I had a thought where we can say all of them now have a free account subscription released from Microsoft. Can we use our own domain account for logging to the free account? Yes, that we can use it from signup.live.com. I just was doing when the session started. I was doing my own domain account. I able to register in the signup.live.com, and I don't need it to live account that is outlook.com or the hotmail.com. So I able to use my own domain, and I able to do the free account sign up as well. So it's
But
not
what?
that mandate. Yeah.
But wasn't that some 2-3 months back? Can you sign up with your company ID now on your live directory?
So the company ID now, what I mean referring here, I'm having own domain, so that is nothing but my organization if I say considering that.
Okay, so let's say I have cloudeasy.com, right? So can I,
Yeah.
if I register that domain with GoDaddy, mine is registered with GoDaddy, and
Yeah.
let's have registered in that domain, and then I come to Microsoft, I can sign up with that Azure AD.
Yeah, I've done just now, so that's possible. So we can. I don't know still whether we have a possibility in EA, so I can't comment now. But
Yeah, I
EA.
know. Yeah, I know it's possible. They need a live ID. I mean, earlier they were
Okay.
allowing. So basically, in order to, give the uniformity, they will let you create your, let's say, user or, CIO at the rate abc.com or company1.com in their live directory.
Yeah.
Microsoft.
Yeah. So if I have initially the question was raised, can I convert my the pay as you go account or the CSP account to EA? So then my account is right now I have signed up with a free account or the pay as you go account. Then I can go back saying that I'm an organization. I wanted to move this account for EA. So then they'll ask the registered ID, which is live.com ID. I can which I register right now. It's my own domain ID. I can give the same to convert it to EA, right? So that's the only criteria which I say is the EA
Okay.
enrollment requirement. Yeah. So that's why I'm saying it would be possible. The one reason because they only have a criteria which has to sign up from the live.com. So which I done right now. I have my account, free account or pay as you go account. I can move it for EA. Yes, that should be possible. That's what I mean to say.
Okay.
Maybe we have not tried. Yeah.
Neeraj bhai, can you just give me an access? I just wanted to show you something in my portal, which I just signed up, because for me it's just showing as an when I just sign up, it's showing as an owner plus.
I made you presenter. Can you share your screen? I will stop sharing.
Sure.
I hope the link will record your session as well.
Yes.
Do you have presenter, right?
Yep. Now you're able to view my screen, right?
Not yet. It's loading. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So basically, when I just sign up with my rcloudweb.outlook.com, it just give me automatically as a service administrator, and I am the owner of the subscription. So this is my first ID, which I just sign up with the Azure subscription, and it just give me the service administrator. If I want lalitrawat.outlook.com as a co-administrator, I'll just add him as a co-administrator. By default, he is the owner, and this owner is just for the RBAC policies which Microsoft has been applied. So basically, when you just give him the you are adding someone into this, so you can just give the owner, contributor, or the reader permission based on your services. So it has all the access, but still if you wanted to add as a co-administrator, this is another layer of the security. You can just add him as a co-administrator, so he has the all the rights which your administrator has. So as per my understanding, there's nothing has been changed. Just few of the rules or the roles has been just migrated here and there, and the similarly if you just go and click on the Active Directory here. So earlier we are getting some password admin and other roles, right? Role assignment. I just wanted to. So if you just come into the directory role, so basically you have the user, global administrator, and the limited administrator. So whatever the roles which we are getting in classic portal, you will be seeing all the roles would be here: the password administrator, service administrator, the billing administrator, and Microsoft has a couple more. The like exchange administrator is Sky for Business, user administrator is a classic one, password administrator is the classic one, service administrator is the classic one, billing administrator is new been added, the security reader and the security administrator and privileged role administrator, Intune. These are the newer few rules or the roles has been newly added. So even though from one directory you can manage your Exchange, Skype, SharePoint, and the compliance admin, the security prospect things, which is comes under the limited administrator, but has been improvised a lot. But they just put all those roles into the limited administrator. Just wanted to update on this. If anybody has any questions.
So the purpose of limited administrator here is like if you do not want to give any user a global administrator, right? And you want that user to create any user on the Azure Active Directory and to change the password, right? You can add that user under limited administrator and give that user the privilege of user administrator.
Yeah, guys.
Right.
Yeah, guys, this role that you're seeing right now, it's only limited to Azure AD. So this role has nothing to do with what you can do on Azure portal. This has to do everything what you can do with Azure AD. So, if you're password admin, you can reset the password of users in Azure AD. If you're Exchange admin, you will manage Exchange. If you're O365, those are the O365. Billing admin, you can take care of the billing. Sky for Business, user administrator. But this will not give you, any kind of a role on the portal. For portal role, contributors, the roles that Lalit was showing, the contributor or the co-administrator or the owner, those are the roles which will control what you can do on the portal, what resources you can create.
Yeah, as per my understanding, those are the rules. The improvisation has comes after the RBAC came into the picture. So basically, when you just assign in the permissions from the subscription, you're adding someone IDs. Just if you add an ID, it will ask you to.
Azure Active Directory had these roles, some of these roles from its beginning, and later they expanded based on their services and other needs. But this new RBAC is purely for Azure services, to manage Azure services, and
Yeah, that's true. So basically, you have
So
these
these
are
are
the
the
three
roles.
roles
Yeah, these are
which
the roles that Lalit is showing you. These are the roles for resources. What you can do with the portal on the Azure portal. Okay, so you have backup operator. He can create backup. Automation runbook operator can create automation account and all those. So these are the some of the rules for Azure ARM portal, RBAC. Okay, what they can do with this portal, and this role doesn't grant any access to Azure AD, and vice versa. If an Azure AD admin cannot have this role, so you have to. These are two different permissions. Okay.
yes. So basically, they just segregated the roles and the permissions. Yeah.
All right. So any other question? I think we are 22 minutes past our allotted time, but we'll still take some questions if anybody has any other questions. No questions?
Hey, I have one question. So this is regarding RBAC. So I don't have any experience implementing RBAC in a larger organization. So does anyone have experience implementing RBAC in larger organizations? Or let's say if one of you are working for a small organization or a medium organization, are you using RBAC or are you assigning everyone with the owner or contributor permission?
So usually what
So
we do is, depending on how is your subscription model, right? It starts from the subscription. So are you giving out subscription for each department, or you're giving out subscription for, each production environment? Like, some of the time people have seen that they will have production subscription, non-production subscription, dev subscription, and then within that they will have resource group for each of the department. So let's say I have a production subscription, and in that I will have resource group one for department one, then resource group two for department two, and department three, and so on, right? That's how do it. So depending on which model will fit your organizational culture, you will decide whether you will hand out subscription per department, and then that department will have dev, prod, QA as a resource group inside that, or you will hand out subscription for, like, prod, one subscription, dev, QA, and then within that subscription you will have resources group for all your departments. So, depending on how you do it, then it will come into the, like, the roles that you want to give. So, like, let's say if it is IT managed environment, you will have your network admins, you will have your storage admins, you will have your VM admins. So based on who really want to, you want to give the access, either you can grant the permission, contributor role, like, network contributor role, or a VM contributor role, or storage contributor role. You can depending on what's the team is, what's your team, and it's very subjective to the organizational layout, how your IT team is organized. So, but these are some of the models that you can use. Right.
Okay. But my question is, I understand that. So my question was like, did anyone in this current meeting
yeah, Naveen, I have
implemented
done
RBAC at a large
yeah.
scale?
So I have done RBAC for one of the customer, right? So
Okay.
their requirement is like they have some SAP users, right? And they want that their only virtual machine compute instance should be accessible in that subscription, and rest should not be accessible for them, right? So for that, it is required that their AD user has been created on Active Directory, right? And I have given the uh, access to only that compute level. So what I have done, I have segregated all the virtual machines under that single resource group, and I have given the access of that particular resource group. So whenever they will try to log in the Azure portal, right? They will only see that resource group and the virtual machine which is created under that resource group.
So Rohit, so what you have done is basically you have created resource group based on the kind of resources. So you will have a VM resource
Yes,
group, you will have network
yes,
resource group, you'll have a storage resource
yes,
group, right?
yes,
So that's also another way to organize resource
yeah,
group, Naveen.
yeah.
And then you
Okay.
assign permission at that resource group to your network admins. So there is one resource, all your network related resources will go inside that, right? So but some of the cases it may not work. There are some challenges. I remember Azure Key Vault and Azure Disk Encryption has a challenge. If Azure Key Vault and VHD storage account, Azure Key Vault and VHD storage account does not, and we had this challenge with this problem because in our current organization we have that way. We moved away from that model. We were in R1, and there's so models. So like we moved from old model to new model of subscription design. So in old model we had like this. So we'll have network resource group, we'll have security resource group, we'll have database resource group, and so VM resource group. So the challenge what we faced with, especially when we're trying to do Azure Disk Encryption, is it was failing. The reason was our storage was in the storage group, and the VHD was in the uh, uh, our Azure Key Vault was in the security resource group, and the VHD was in storage resource group. And AD has a requirement, Azure Disk Encryption has a requirement that the Azure Key Vault and your VHD should be should belong to the same resource group. So at that point of time it was failing. I don't know if Microsoft has fixed it or not. It was some 3 to 4 months back. But usually that's also another way to organize your resource group model.
Yep. That's
Okay, Rohit, thank you for sharing.
And even though Naveen, you can even though tag your resources based on the department and provide the permissions to one particular department for those resources. That can be also, you can segregate it through RBAC. You can customize your RBAC through PowerShell or API, which I haven't tried, but yeah.
Yeah, that's also a good idea. That's also a good idea. If you are a consolidated resource group, let's say that resource group is shared by multiple, department so for example, I talked about department, and the department has dev. You have created subscription for one department, and that
Yes, sir.
department. Then in that department you have dev, QA, and UAT resource group. Now within that also you will have multiple departments workload sitting. If that is the model that you have, you use the tag and you say this is unit 1, unit 2, unit 3, and use PowerShell to run an automated script which will pull all the resources related to unit 1 and assign the permission. You can assign the RBAC also at individual resource level also. So that's also the most granular level to get into if you cannot segregate at the resource group level. So that can also be done, but that will require customer.
Neeraj, I have a question. Neeraj, I have a question. Can we apply RBAC on tag level?
So no, you will have to write a script. That script will retrieve all the resources related to that tag, and then for each resource you will apply permission. So Lalit, if you can go to any resource, single individual resource.
So here the tagging will only help us in identifying that resources which is under that tag. And after that we have to apply individual rule which we need to assign on the resources, right?
Correct.
So what happens when you add new resources? I mean, new resources to the tag, and you already ran that script.
Yeah, so you'll have to make sure that your script is run whatever frequency.
Okay.
You have to reinforce.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I have just one question here. Actually. I mean, in the Azure portal, right, there is a called app registration, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I just wanted to, because actually I am using Power BI, Power BI dashboard, and I'm registering the app here actually to generate the token key. You might know actually there is called token-based authentication I'm doing actually. So what I'm doing actually here, I'm just registering the app here actually, called app registration in the Azure portal. Okay. But here when I'm trying to delete the old keys actually, so it's not able to delete here. That means if you see here in active directory, Hello.
So yeah, sorry. I was okay. So if you can give me a minute, we'll come back to your questions. So Vivek, I was trying to show this. So like, I'm looking at a property of a VM, and that VM, if you go into access control, here you can assign, different roles that you want to. You can also click on the role. So basically, as a tag, your question was, can we assign RBAC to tag? No, directly you cannot. But what you will do is indirectly, these are the roles that you have at the individual resource level. That is my VM. So indirectly, what you can do is you can tag your resources, run a script to get the list of all the resources attached to that tag, and then apply RBAC at that resource level, at single individual resource level. But Microsoft has not offered that easy way that directly. Okay, I say give me the list of all the resources for tag and then just apply the permission. No, that you cannot do today. But indirectly you can achieve that. I hope I answered.
Yes. Basically, RBAC would be applied on the subscription level, resource group level, and the sites. So basically, in 3 levels only you can apply the RBAC. Apart from that, you don't have other permissions to be go ahead and do that.
So Vivek,
So you have to categorize in this 3 part.
Yeah, so that's good.
So
Vivek, did we answer your question?
Yes, I got my answer.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So let's come back to the question. Sorry, I forgot that.
Yeah. Yeah, my name is Santosh.
Hey, Santosh.
Actually, my question is regarding this actually app registration. I mean, if you see here Active Directory, and just click on the Active Directory.
Yeah.
There is called app registration here.
Yes.
Right. Actually, what I'm doing actually, I'm actually, there is a Power BI application actually. So from there, actually, I'm just accessing this portal to get the token actually.
Yeah.
And to get the token, I'm doing the registration here, app registration here. Here. Yeah. So these are actually called app registration where I can get the token ID. What's happening here actually? I have actually for testing purpose, I have created many app IDs here. So when I'm trying to delete this app ID, actually application ID, it's not allowing me to delete it actually from here.
You may not have permission. I can delete it. See, I have a...
No, actually, okay, actually because some of the, few IDs are able to delete. I don't know, some of the IDs, if there is a, let's say example, I've created one app actually, and I'm using that ID in my application, right? Then I cannot delete it here.
Okay, so basically it might be associated or probably it is just stuck with your applications which is running on something like that, or any error, any specific error you are getting. Because if your application is associated with the Power BI or any other applications and it's been continuously utilizing or the connection has been made and it's not been broken, then probably it won't allow you to delete.
Okay, that's true actually, because the connection is, continuously using the connection. So in that, now I'm actually not using the temporary purpose. I want to remove all this connection. Then I want to create a new fresh ID on an application ID. Because they have many things. There are around 25 already application ID out there. I want to remove all these IDs.
Yes, so basically you have to deassociate it from the application level, and then probably you can delete it. I think Neeraj can add more in this.
Lalit, one more observation from my end. If we be in a global admin, we can do the deletion, I think. And I just want to share my experience as well. So even I am one of my colleague is not a global admin. He can do the app registration. To say the service principal creation from the portal. But the service principal get created, but I can't use that service principal in any one of the application since he is not a global admin, but it allows to create a service principal. So as soon as that kind of issues, we generally from the global admin ID, we generally delete the existing one and create the apps registration from the global admin account itself, so that the application get authenticates and we works completes actually. So maybe I would suggest to go for global admin to account to log in and delete, trying that.
Yeah, that's probably a good suggestion. And that's what I said. You may not have right setup permission. That's why.
I think
In that
it works with owner access as well.
Yeah.
I think it should work.
but
Yeah.
Even I think
yeah,
he's
but
able to delete two services, but not others.
See,
yeah, few are unable to delete actually. Few I mean application I can able to delete.
We think go with the command line, scripts like commands to remove the service principal. That also, addition we just can try in the kind of a situations.
Yeah, the command line with the force command.
Yep, yep, we can do that as well.
So, Uday, is there no option to enable that user after you log in as global administrator?
I mean, this is an application ID, right?
Okay.
We talking about the service principal.
Yeah, this is not a user ID. This is
Yeah,
SCN. So maybe you can say
yeah,
manage service account. You can say.
yeah. So it's I can relate with on-premise. So it's a security group. I can, but I'm not sure with that Azure
No, so
AD completely.
on-prem you will associate it as managed service account. So MSA, Microsoft introduced 2012 R2, a managed service
Okay,
account. So you would
okay,
associate that as an MSA.
okay. Yeah.
Okay, well, actually, one more thing I just want to check actually. I mean, actually, currently, what I'm doing is using the Power from Power BI. I'm using the free account actually, free on an Azure portal, and I'm getting the token oil and I'm able to use. But this normally actually after 1 hour is getting expired. I mean, I don't know whether it's a normal. I mean, this is the they are giving 1 hour to use this one or something like that. So now my company is saying actually we are going to subscribe the. I mean, to get those. I mean, to
See,
get
the
the
token
what do you call it? Yeah.
token
I mean, it's like
lifetime is, I
yeah.
don't think it's 1 hour. There are token lifetime which you can control through your application itself. When that get issued.
No, actually, I
But
tried that. I just Google through actually, I mean, this one. They are saying that it is a free account. I mean, if you do not subscribe here,
okay,
then
okay,
there is a limit actually.
okay,
I mean, you cannot use for a long time.
okay.
Then when I go for the subscription, actually, I mean, there is a charge actually, but I don't know how they are charging actually because whether it's a per user wise or one account because
So
we
no,
have
no.
many
So they
users
have
actually.
different charging mechanism for Power BI. Since it's not a Power BI session, so I will not really get into that. But Power BI has a different licensing fee and cost depending on what you. So it's 10 GB. If you get a pro license, I have a pro license which gives me 10 GB of data ingestion, and that is a part of it. There are different
Okay.
licenses there. Plus, now they're also licensing based on the cores and CPU. So it's a whole lot of different ball game for Power BI. So
Oh, so it means different in the Power BI, they have different kind of license fees for this one, right?
correct,
For
correct,
to subscribe, right?
correct.
Okay.
All right. So I think we are 40 minutes past our allotted time. So Yuvraj, you had a question. So you mind you asking this question about the web app? Yuvraj? Okay, so he dropped off. All right, no problem. All right, so I think we are 40 minutes past our time. So thank you everybody for joining our call today. And as usual, please go ahead and subscribe yourself to our Azure Talk community group. These are the people who make it possible. Register on to our website, for any kind of, and plus, try to share our Azure Talk group link for joining this sessions, all this, and plus also like in the Azure Talk community group. So please make sure that you share it. We want to, right now we have 1,200 plus members, but we want to grow this community. It's not a number game, but we want to reach out to maximum audience and maximum possible audience, and we want to help each and everybody. And I also encourage you to take participate in the discussion in the forum. You maybe 1 month back probably you were newbie and you were starting to learn, but now if you have learned something, please try to contribute, so that way in the system and the community will grow by helping each other, and it will grow organically. So once again, thank you for joining our call today, and we will have another session next week, an excellent one, a good one. Probably we will cover a new Azure feature which was announced at Ignite, and we will try to cover those. Plus, we'll also have some upcoming sessions on how to become Microsoft Certified Trainer. and we'll continue to having these kind of sessions. And I really appreciate your participation, and thank you very much for taking out time from a busy schedule, especially on the weekend, and joining our call today. So once again, thank you. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
All right.
Thanks all.
Thank you all. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
All right.